In the golden era of Hollywood, many stars built more than just a public image. They constructed private worlds designed to shield them from the relentless gaze of the paparazzi and curious fans. These mansions and hideaways were meticulously designed havens where they could express their eccentricities, host secret gatherings, or simply escape the pressures of stardom. Now, let us step inside these unforgettable abodes. Charlie Chaplin, a true pioneer of silent film and a man known for his whimsy, lived in a modest yet cleverly designed Beverly Hills house. Despite its unassuming appearance, Chaplin's home boasted a secret tunnel, an ingenious escape route that reportedly led to a discreet wine cellar. It is said that this passageway was not only used to elude intrusive reporters but also served as a venue for small, private gatherings. Within the walls of this residence, one could almost imagine Chaplin rehearsing comedic bits on a miniature stage built on the grounds, testing out new ideas far from the public's prying eyes. This humble yet creative space reflected both his artistic sensibility and his need for solitude during turbulent times, especially as political tensions in the United States mounted during the McCarthy era. Chaplin's secret retreat remains a testament to the man who dared to blend creativity with privacy. Errol Flynn, the dashing swashbuckler whose on-screen adventures captured the hearts of millions, owned a Hollywood Hills estate that mirrored his own tumultuous life. Flynn's property, built in the 1940s, was more than a glamorous retreat, it was a playground for both adventure and secrecy. Among its many unusual features, the estate boasted a hidden passage leading to a secret bedroom. This clandestine space, complete with a two-way mirror, allowed Flynn to observe his visitors without being seen, adding an extra layer of mystery to his already enigmatic persona. The estate even included a pistol range for shooting practice and a private bar for hosting lively gatherings. Yet as Flynn's career and personal life began to unravel during the 1950s, the once extravagant estate fell into neglect and was eventually demolished. Despite its loss, the legend of Flynn's mansion lives on, symbolizing the wild, untamed spirit that once defined his career. Howard Hughes, perhaps one of Hollywood's most enigmatic figures, transformed his Beverly Hills estate into a labyrinth of luxury and secrecy. Purchased in the 1920s, Hughes' home was designed to provide complete seclusion. Tall walls, dense foliage, and a layout filled with hidden rooms and passageways were all part of his obsessive pursuit of privacy. As Hughes became increasingly reclusive, his home morphed from a symbol of aviation and technological prowess into a self-imposed prison. The estate even featured its own private airstrip, allowing him to come and go without ever encountering the outside world. Every detail, from the precise placement of furniture to the exact temperature in each room, was meticulously controlled. Although the mansion was eventually sold and demolished, the chilling echoes of Hughes' brilliance and paranoia continue to capture the imagination of those who study his life. James Dean's final home tells a story that is as tragic as it is intriguing. In the mid-1950s, the rebellious actor chose a modest bungalow in Sherman Oaks over the extravagant mansions favored by his peers. This unassuming rental offered him the solitude he sought amid the pressures of his meteoric rise to fame. Inside, the home retained an air of quiet reflection, a stark contrast to the high-octane persona Dean displayed on screen. It was in this bungalow that he stored his beloved Porsche 550 Spider, a car that would later become synonymous with his untimely death. Yet within these simple walls, Dean was known to sketch, read scripts, and even experiment with playing the bongos, revealing an artistic curiosity that went far beyond his public image as a troubled heartthrob. Although his life was tragically cut short, the bungalow endures as a time capsule of his brief, incandescent journey in Hollywood. Jean Harlow's life, though tragically short, was marked by both on-screen glamour and off-screen mystery. Her modest Beverly Hills home became the subject of intense speculation after the sudden and controversial death of her husband, Paul Byrne. The circumstances surrounding his passing cast a long shadow over the residence, imbuing it with an eerie reputation. Later, following Harlow's own early death at the age of 26, the home was said to be haunted by unsettling sounds and an almost tangible sense of sorrow. Yet, beneath the dark legends, there remained evidence of Harlow's softer side, a love for books, treasured keepsakes, and personal mementos that offered a glimpse into the woman behind the screen persona. Today, her former home stands as a quiet monument to a star whose life was as brilliant as it was brief, continuing to inspire curiosity and compassion among those who remember her. In contrast to many of her contemporaries, Mae West chose a path defined by elegance and personal style rather than sprawling opulence. Her longtime residence in the historic Ravenswood building was a refined apartment that she transformed into a personal sanctuary. Decorated almost entirely in white, from plush carpets to shimmering mirrored walls, West's space was both striking and deeply personal. One of its most memorable features was a unique seashell-shaped bed, a playful nod to the flamboyant humor that characterized her career. The apartment was filled with cherished memorabilia from her film career, including extravagant costumes, props, and photographs that chronicled her rise to stardom. Rumors of ghostly happenings and mysterious presences have circulated for years, adding an air of mystique to the residence. Yet, even with such legends, Mae West's apartment remains a symbol of her fiercely independent nature, a place where she defined her own rules, unbound by the conventions of her time. Buster Keaton, the legendary silent film comedian known for his deadpan expression and innovative stunts, owned an estate in Old Beverly Hills that was as inventive as his movies. Built in the 1920s, the mansion was designed with surprises at every corner. Among its many quirks was a hidden bar that could be transformed into a private screening room, a nod to Keaton's love for film and his playful sense of humor. The estate also featured elements that harken back to the era of silent movies, including a Roman-style pool, a trout stream, and even an aviary. However, as the years passed and personal struggles mounted, including a difficult divorce and financial challenges, the once glorious home eventually slipped from Keaton's grasp. Today, though the mansion is long gone, its story endures as a bittersweet reflection on the rise and fall of a brilliant entertainer. Rudolf Valentino's Falcon Lair stands out as one of the most enigmatic celebrity homes in our tale. Built in the 1920s in Beverly Crest, the mansion was designed to evoke the grandeur of medieval European fortresses, complete with sprawling gardens, arched doorways, and a sweeping staircase. Valentino, whose Italian roots were an integral part of his identity, poured his heart and soul into Falcon Lair. However, barely months after moving in, the star met an untimely death at the age of 31. His sudden passing cast a shadow over the estate, and whispers soon spread that the home was cursed. Subsequent owners reported eerie sounds, mysterious figures, and an overwhelming sense of otherworldliness. Although Falcon Lair eventually changed hands and was demolished in the early 2000s, its legend endures as a ghostly tribute to Hollywood's first major heartthrob, a stark reminder that fame can be as fleeting as it is dazzling. Hedy Lamarr, celebrated for her beauty and her lesser-known role as an inventor, used her Hollywood home to channel her inventive spirit. Built in the 1940s, Lamarr's modern, minimalist residence featured expansive windows that bathed the interior in natural light. Yet behind the stylish facade lay a secret, a private workshop where Lamarr would experiment with innovative ideas, including the groundbreaking frequency-hopping concept that would eventually lead to technologies such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. In an industry fixated on appearances, Lamarr's dedication to science and problem-solving set her apart. Few visitors ever saw this hidden corner of her life, and for many, the existence of the workshop remains a mystery, a quiet tribute to a woman who managed to balance the glamour of stardom with a passion for intellectual discovery. Gloria Swanson, an icon of the silent screen whose dramatic flair was matched only by her lavish lifestyle, resided in a mansion known as Casas del Sol. Built in the 1920s in a striking Spanish Moorish style, the home was adorned with arched doorways, intricately detailed tiles, and even a private chapel. Yet behind the elegant facade lay a secret passageway, a concealed corridor leading to a small, out-of-sight room. This hidden space was thought to be a personal escape, a place where Swanson could withdraw from the constant demands of her public life and host secret meetings or simply find a moment of peace. As her stardom evolved, so too did the challenges of maintaining such an extravagant property, and eventually, financial pressures forced her to sell the mansion. Though the physical structure was torn down, the legend of Casas del Sol endures as a symbol of Swanson's larger-than-life image and the bittersweet nature of Hollywood's golden days. Jayne Mansfield's residence, widely known as the Pink Palace, was perhaps one of the most visually unforgettable celebrity homes of its time. Built in the late 1950s in Los Angeles, the mansion was painted in vibrant bubblegum pink, a color scheme that extended from the walls to the ceilings. Its flamboyant design was further accentuated by a heart-shaped swimming pool with a mosaic inscription that read "I love you, Janie," and a fountain where her husband, a former Mr. Universe, would sometimes fill the basin with pink champagne for her infamous parties. Mansfield's home was a bold statement of individuality in an industry that often demanded conformity. Even though the Pink Palace was eventually torn down in the early 2000s, its memory lives on as a vivid reminder of a woman who embraced extravagance and defied expectations at every turn. Clark Gable, known to many as the King of Hollywood, sought solace away from the relentless glare of the spotlight in a secluded ranch located in Encino. Built in the 1930s, Gable's ranch was far removed from the glitz of studio backlots. Instead, it was a peaceful retreat nestled among rolling hills and expansive fields, a place where the celebrated actor could indulge in his passion for horseback riding and quiet reflection. After the tragic loss of his beloved wife, Carole Lombard, the ranch took on an even more poignant meaning. Here, in the gentle embrace of nature, Gable would rehearse lines, read quietly, or simply sit and watch the sunset, finding solace away from the chaotic demands of Hollywood. The ranch, modest yet full of hidden charms, remains a testament to a man who, despite his public image as a suave leading man, deeply valued his privacy and the simple pleasures of life. Carey Grant's life was defined by elegance, sophistication, and a penchant for understated luxury. His discreet Beverly Hills home was the embodiment of these qualities. While its exterior might have appeared modest compared to the grand mansions of his peers, a closer look would reveal a secret alcove tucked away behind the library shelves. This hidden nook, accessible only to those who knew of its existence, served as Grant's private retreat, a place where he could escape from the constant buzz of Hollywood and indulge in quiet moments of introspection. In a world of lavish parties and public displays of wealth, Carey Grant's hidden alcove stands as a symbol of his belief that true sophistication often thrives in the simplest of settings. Marion Davis Ocean House in Santa Monica was an architectural marvel, a sprawling mansion that seemed to capture the very essence of Hollywood's glamour. With more than 100 rooms, 55 bathrooms, and 37 fireplaces, the estate was built with the assistance of her powerful partner, William Randolph Hearst. At the heart of the property was a 110-foot pool, surrounded by marble statues and lush greenery. Ocean House was not only a venue for lavish parties and gatherings that drew Hollywood's elite, but it also served as a symbol of Davis' success and ambition. Despite its grandeur, however, the estate's fortunes were closely tied to those of its owner. As financial difficulties emerged, the mansion was eventually broken up, with the main house demolished in the 1950s. Yet remnants of its former glory, such as the guest house and pool, live on, preserving the memory of an era when Hollywood's dreams were built in stone. John Barrymore, often hailed as the Great Profile, lived in a stately mansion known as Belle Vista in Beverly Hills. Constructed in the 1920s, Belle Vista was a sprawling property that spoke to Barrymore's love of classical theater and dramatic flair. At its heart was a grand library filled with rare books and manuscripts, some of which were hidden away in secret compartments built into the walls. Barrymore even set up a private stage within the estate where he could rehearse Shakespearean roles or entertain a few select friends. His eccentricities extended to the animal companions he kept on the premises. A monkey and a parrot roamed the halls as freely as any guest. However, as financial pressures mounted and Barrymore's health deteriorated during the 1930s, the once proud mansion was eventually sold and demolished. Today, although the physical structure is gone, the legacy of Belle Vista endures in the stories of hidden bookcases and impromptu performances that continue to fascinate fans of old Hollywood. Dolores Del Rio's Los Angeles home was a striking example of how modern design could be married with cultural heritage. Constructed by visionary architect Richard Neutra in the 1920s, the sleek structure set itself apart from the ornate mansions that were typical among Hollywood's elite. With large windows, open floor plans, and a minimalist aesthetic, Del Rio's home served as a canvas for her to celebrate her Mexican roots. The interior was filled with art and artifacts from her homeland, transforming the space into a personal oasis that resonated with creativity. Not only did the home attract fellow artists and writers, including visits from luminaries such as Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo, but it also stood as a statement of modernism in Southern California. Though her career in the United States eventually waned, the impact of Del Rio's residence remains a testament to the power of blending cultural heritage with innovative design. Mary Pickford's legendary mansion, affectionately known as Peak Fair, was a palace of both glitz and hidden sorrow. Once a dazzling hub for Hollywood's elite, the 42-room estate was home to gatherings attended by icons such as Douglas Fairbanks, Albert Einstein, and even Amelia Earhart. However, after her divorce from Fairbanks in the 1930s, Pickford withdrew from the public eye, and rumors of hauntings began to swirl around the mansion. Over time, as the property changed hands and modifications were made, the physical structure could no longer capture the magic of its heyday. In the 1990s, the mansion was demolished due to issues ranging from termite damage to claims of paranormal activity. Yet, the name Peak Fair continues to evoke images of a time when Hollywood stars mingled in a world of glamour and hidden heartbreak, reminding us that even the grandest dreams can have a darker side. Douglas Fairbanks, celebrated for his swashbuckling roles and larger-than-life persona, also left his mark with a secretive estate in Santa Monica known as Fairbanks Ranch. Unlike the opulence of Peak Fair, this retreat was designed with a focus on natural beauty and private escape. The ranch featured expansive landscape gardens, a private lake, and even a charming boathouse that was connected to the main house by a hidden tunnel. This secret passage was rumored to be used either to dodge inquisitive reporters or to stage dramatic entrances during private gatherings. Fairbanks' passion for sports and adventure was evident in the ranch's amenities, which included a modern gym and tennis courts. Though the property was eventually sold and subdivided as his popularity waned, the legend of the hidden tunnel and the tranquil retreat lives on, symbolizing the dual nature of Fairbanks' public daring and private seclusion. William Randolph Hearst's San Simeon estate, often referred to as Hearst Castle, was nothing short of monumental. Constructed from the 1910s onward along California's central coast, the sprawling property boasted an astonishing 165 rooms, extensive gardens, and not one but two enormous swimming pools, one of which was famously decorated with real gold tiles. Hearst spared no expense in importing authentic European ceilings, tapestries, and sculptures to adorn his retreat, and even maintained a private zoo complete with zebras and other exotic creatures. Lavish parties were a regular occurrence, attended by such luminaries as Charlie Chaplin and Clark Gable. Behind the glitz and excess, however, lay the story of a man who controlled every detail of his surroundings with an iron will. As financial troubles began to mount in the 1930s, Hearst was forced to sell off parts of his priceless collection, yet San Simeon remains a historical monument, a lasting tribute to the heights of excess and the inevitable pitfalls of living on a grand scale. Ala Nazimov's Garden of Allah was a remarkable enclave that defied conventional Hollywood norms. Purchased in the 1910s, the mansion on Sunset Boulevard became a safe haven for unconventional minds and free spirits. Nazimova, a Russian-born actress and producer, transformed the property into an open-minded retreat that hosted guest villas and even an eye-catching swimming pool, the shape of which was designed to evoke the vast, mysterious Black Sea. Artists, writers, and actors, ranging from F. Scott Fitzgerald to Greta Garbo, found solace and inspiration in the relaxed atmosphere of the Garden of Allah. Although financial pressures forced Nazimova to sell the mansion in the 1920s, and the property eventually became a hotel before being demolished in the 1950s to make way for a strip mall, the memory of her bold vision remains. Her legacy endures as a reminder that Hollywood was not always a realm of strict conformity, but sometimes a place where daring spirits could break free and create their own rules. Harold Lloyd's mansion, affectionately known as Green Acres, epitomized the blend of fun and ambition that defined early Hollywood. Constructed in the 1920s, the expansive estate featured 44 rooms that included a 50-foot-long living room, several ornate fountains, and meticulously manicured gardens. Lloyd, famed for his daring stunts and physical comedy in silent films, poured the same creative energy into designing his home. Among its many hidden features was a secret room specifically built to store his treasured collection of film memorabilia, a private space that symbolized his relentless drive for excellence. Over time, as the film industry transitioned from silent pictures to talkies, maintaining such a vast property became increasingly challenging. Much of Green Acres was sold off during the 1970s, but the main residence still stands today as a designated historic landmark, serving as a reminder of both Hollywood's creative ingenuity and the inevitable passage of time. As we step away from these tales of hidden rooms, secret tunnels, and private sanctuaries, we are left with an appreciation for the rich tapestry of stories that make up Hollywood's past. These mansions, with all their eccentricities and mysteries, are not merely relics of a bygone era, they are living testaments to the human desire for privacy, creativity, and the freedom to dream. They remind us that behind every public persona is a private story, full of secrets and hidden depths that have shaped the very fabric of Hollywood history.